Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Well, it is week 2, and we're going to continue with our discussion. We're going to talk about frameworks and architectures today in the e-commerce book. And then we're going to watch some videos as well from TED Talks. So hopefully you're doing really well. I saw probably more than half of you have already joined the Google Classroom. That's where you're going to upload your weekly summary that you watch these videos, and also your weekly discussions and your projects, and then your tests will be there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with today's chapter 2. You go into my share screen with you. All right, so we have the e-commerce. In this chapter, we're going to learn the main actors and stakeholders in the area of e-commerce, how the fundamental sales process and 7+1 process steps work. What are the technological elements and characteristics of e-commerce, and how they enabled the big success of the e-commerce? Well, there's different actors and stakeholders. E-commerce is driven by different groups of actors and stakeholders. First, we have the persons, abbreviated with C. C stands for potential consumers and citizens, according to specific content which is considered. Secondly, we have business organizations, abbreviated B. B stands for producers and suppliers, trade organizations and merchants, banks, insurance companies, or other financial service providers, logistics and transportation firms or forwarding agencies, and last but not least, several intermediaries. Thus making business with and the internet. Thirdly, we have governmental authorities, abbreviated by the G or the A, and the A stands for administration and G stands for government. The category includes the local authorities or at town level or country level, national authorities, and then on the state level or federation level, like United States of America, or the international authorities like European Union or United Nations. We also see political parties and lobby organizations like the press and the media, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, or we call them nonprofits here in the States, like Greenpeace, the Red Cross, or Olympic Committee. You have churches and other religious organizations, sports, and other associations. There's no specific abbreviation for the group of stakeholders. According to the specific nature of the interacting partners, we talk about the X to Y business, and where X and Y belong to the above mentioned categories. We only talk about the X to Y business if there's an interchange of goods and services and money. The supplier provides goods or services to the consumer, be it the consumer or another business that has to forward the appropriate amount of money to the supplier. This is done as the base of the contract. It is written or an oral contract. There are typically mentioned relationships here. We have the C2C, consumer to consumer, considered part of the B2C business. We have the B2C, we have business to consumer. We have the B2B, business to business, and the G2B, government to citizen, and the G2B, government to business. It's all part of e-government. The G2G, government to government. If you're interested in e-government, you can see this is CBG. However, this is somehow artificial pattern. Doing business can be mainly considered via the two questions. Who is the initiator or the driver of a business transaction? If he's a supplier, then he's under the focus of e-commerce. If he's a consumer, then this is under the focus of e-procurement. What's the nature of the transaction? If it's temporary, one-time transaction, then it would be considered under the B2C business. If it's permanent, non-going corporation, then it's considered under the B2B business. Fundamental sales process, as discussing e-commerce, we know in detail what's going on with e-commerce transactions. Thus, we have to consider the basic fundamental sales process. The process describes the general pattern of making business and delivering goods and provide services and getting payments for this. Here we can differentiate, and we generally, due to Potter's value chain, do it in the process management between primary and kernel process and secondary and supporting process. Of course, your school is kernel. Right here, we saw this in the other chapter. It's information initiation and contract conclusion. Delivery, fulfillment, billing, invoicing, payment, and service support. So we can see right here, there's the information step. You want to search for products and services by the consumer. And you want to search for potential suppliers by the consumer. You want to search for potential customers by the supplier. You want to communicate an offering by the supplier. You want to communicate a need by the customer. You want to get into contract either by the consumer or by the supplier. We want to request for delivery or service by the consumer, offer for delivery or service by the supplier, assess the supplier by the customer, assess the customer by the supplier. We want a contract conclusion step, negotiate the offer by supplier and customer, negotiate by contract by supplier and customer, place an order by the customer, confirm the order or by the supplier. We have delivery fulfillment step, proceeding for the physical goods. We have pack goods by the supplier, load goods by the supplier, ship goods by the shipping agent. We want to unload goods by the shipping agent. We want to unpack goods by the consumer or shipping agent or a specific service provider. We want to assemble complex equipment at the customer site by shipping agent or specific service provider. We want to accept delivery by the customer. We want to approve contract fulfillment to authorize billing by the customer. We want proceeding for physical services. We want to build and maintain service fulfillment capability by the supplier. We want to come together physically because the consumer must be an active part of the service delivery by the supplier and the customer. We want to define service levels by the supplier, possibly after negotiation with the customer. We want to add service level agreement by the contract. By the supplier, we want to accept service fulfillment by the customer. Approve contract fulfillment to authorize billing by the customer. Providing digital goods. We want to send goods to the customer via net or provide for download by the supplier. We want to protect goods against unauthorized access by the supplier. We want to accept delivery to confirm successful download by the customer. We want to approve the contract fulfillment to authorize billing by the customer. We want to proceeding with the digital services, provide service via the next by the supplier, define service levels by the supplier, possibly after a negotiation with the customer. We want to add service level agreement by the contract by the supplier. We want to initiate service provision by the customer, accept service fulfillment by the customer, approve contract fulfillment to authorize billing by the customer. Proceeding for information, like digital goods, billing and invoicing step, generate invoice by the supplier, generate attachment to the invoice, protocol of service fulfillment, protocol of final customer's approval, certificates, etc. by the supplier, forward invoice to the customer via the web or via postal services by the supplier. Then we have payment step, get money from the customer. See the chapter 7 in this book. That'll be in the further weeks to come. By supplier or by a financial service provider. We have service support step, provide additional information for the customer, user manual, technical documentation by the supplier. Manage complaints by the supplier, repair by the supplier or a specific service provider. We want to manage returns if the repair is necessary, a wrong product has been delivered, or a customer wants to roll back the business by the supplier or the corporation with the customer. Conduct maintenance may be part of the product or maybe a separate service offered by the supplier or by the supplier of a specific service provider. We have the internal process control, communication to the customer, tracking, tracing by supplier or the shipping agent, inform about other processing status by the supplier, announce delivery time by the supplier or the shipping agent. You have process control, sales, and communication. Then you have technical elements that also plays a part. Technology is a major enabler of e-commerce, and we consider it here. Global accepted technological standards have been and are still a prerequisite for the driver of global economic business. Here we'll follow a technology model in 4 layers. The model is not satisfactory to the specific point of view, and it gives a heuristic and pragmatic orientation. The subsequent short definitions or descriptions are taken from Wikipedia. Applications, you have online shop, CRM, marketplace, and the SCM. You have procurement system, platform, CMS, portal, web application server, net, Java EE, and you have middleware like a Cobra, a SOAP directory service, a web server, WSDL, or a DM or DBMS, or basic technologies, TCP and IP, or HTTP, or SMTP, or FTP, or www, or mobile communication, or HTML, or XML, or database. This is what will happen to marketing in the age of AI. So here's a little short video from TED Talks.
So let me start by bringing you back in time. We are 30 years ago, and the first word processors and spreadsheets are about to hit the market. And the whole economic world is bracing for the next big productivity revolution. The promise at the time was we'd all spend so much less time writing, drawing slides, computing numbers on a calculator. And here we are, 30 years later, and the promise has come true. We all have so much leisure time on our hands, and personally, I only work 2 days a week. No, of course, I'm just kidding. The reality of what has happened 30 years later is we don't work less. We just write much longer Word documents. And our PowerPoint decks have gone from 6 slides to 50 slides. And I say that as a consultant. Also, we engage in much more complex decision-making because the amount of data that we have to process has just exploded. And why is that important today? Well, generative AI is coming, and is coming to be embedded in the core of our organizations and the way we work, and that will be the next big productivity revolution. So the question becomes, how do we set ourselves up to actually seize this productivity opportunity? I'm a marketer. I spent all my career in marketing and also advising marketing professionals. Now, some say marketing is the #1 impacted function out there. Some say the productivity impact in marketing is as high as 50%. So that question of how can I seize that productivity opportunity is super high on my mind right now. And I want to make the case it should be super important to you all as well, as business leaders, but also as consumers. So what will happen to marketing? Well, marketing has traditionally been a super right-brained creative type of function. That means what? Means we have excelled as marketers by tapping into the emotional needs of our consumers, coming up with that perfect product, that perfect innovation to meet that need, and also then cracking that great message that will convert the consumer at the right place in the right time. Already in the past 15 years with digital marketing and analytics, marketing has evolved from being only right brain type of generated skills to a few more specialized skill sets. For example, digital marketing or marketing technology. But now the difference with generative AI, it is transforming the core of marketing activities. Now, in a recent study that the Boston Consulting Group conducted with Harvard, we found that ChatGPT in its current form already improves the right brain performance of marketers by 40%.
All right, agree with client and start time tracking. Great. So for Q4, I was thinking.
What are you doing?
Oh, we needed a whiteboard wall. We got this really important thing coming up.
Is that permanent marker?
No.
On my wall?
Yeah. Rob, how many times have I told you not to use that?
A lot.
Get out!
Okay.
We're leaving.
I'm just gonna take a quick picture. I don't want to lose
Get
it.
out!
Okay, can you take it? No. All right.
She's an angry elf.
Oh my God.
Idiots!
With ClickUp whiteboards, the only thing permanent is your productivity. ClickUp. Try ClickUp whiteboards today.
Imagine what that number will be in a year or two from now. So what do you think marketers would do with a day and a half of free time a week? More yoga? More family time? Do you think companies would allow that? Or do you think companies will just let large chunks of the marketing function go? Well, I believe none of this is going to happen. I think if we don't steer that productivity revolution very actively, marketers will invest this time in what they do best: more content and more ideas. Now, if you think of more content, there is a super productive outcome for all of us as consumers. More content actually means much more personalized content. Now think of that email that you're getting from your favorite brand every week. Imagine if that email was 100% tailored to you. Means only images of people your age and gender, even to people wearing t-shirts of your favorite rock band, every product relevant for you, and even a human-like experience powered by a bot. That is certainly a productive outcome. But there is also a very negative outcome for us consumers here, and that is content overload. How many of you already feel chased by the same content over and over again online? Now imagine if that content chasing you, if that amount of content chasing you just explodes. And imagine if that content chasing you also all sounds the same. Now, why is that a risk? Generative AI has been trained on existing content and data. Because of that, it reduces divergence of outcomes. And that grand equalization of marketing is certainly not a productive outcome. So what is the solve here? Well, I believe marketing, but also every function out there that is being impacted by this productivity revolution, needs to grow a left AI brain and grow one fast, and also identify and protect its top right brain talent. Now you're going to ask me, what do you mean by growing a left AI brain? Well, I mean the function needs to strategically reskill and reorganize to embed people that can build, use, and diffuse predictive AI tools in the heart of decision making. I mean, for marketing, building teams of marketing data scientists, marketing data engineers that build solutions that can be distributed to all marketers to, for example, unpack performance and predict outcomes. Imagining in marketing being able to understand what audience creative couples are really hitting it off in the market, or what product is working with which consumer and why, or how is the marketing funnel evolving. I recently partnered with a consumer goods company that did exactly that. They decided to grow a left AI brain advantage. We helped them build tools that were diffused in the entire organization that helped every marketer predict for every marketing initiative what was going to be the sales outcome. how a consumer behavior is going to be impacted on every channel and every touch point, and go deep in unpacking execution insights to understand what creative was working and why. That created a super virtuous feedback loop in the entire organization. It also took building a team of 30 plus left AI brain marketers that build these tools, customize them, but also in turn upskill the entire organization to use them. But the team's only a part of the puzzle. I see too many companies out there embarking on this journey, just training their algorithms and models only on their current content and data. Now, if you do that, the risk for a brand is to be trapped in your current territory. Concretely, imagine you're a brand that is super strong with millennials. There is nothing in data and content existing on millennials that will help you to be successful with Gen Z. And in turn, if you're never successful with Gen Z, you will miss out on important innovations and trends that will make you stronger with millennials. So I advise every company out there, think outside of the box. Think outside your direct ecosystem on who could be super relevant data and content partners for you. Imagine you're a construction company and you decide to market to architects for the first time. You have zero data on architects. What do? Who has data on architects? Other construction companies, but they're direct competitors. So where do you go? Well, you go outside your ecosystem, potentially, for example, with financial institutions, insurances. You can set up a federated model with them, train algos on that. That will in turn make you much stronger to market to a new consumer segment.
A lead installer handles all of that from demolition to plumbing, communicating with the customers, and then pretty much the whole job's.
And so, are you done? If you have that, if you have that data, if you have those skills, are you done? You have that left AI brain advantage? Well, no, actually you are not. If you do that, there is a risk you give all of your right brain to generative AI, and in turn, run a real risk of losing that divergence, losing that super strong brand identity, being trapped in that grand equalization of marketing I was talking about a minute ago. In the Harvard study we conducted with the Boston Consulting Group and Harvard, we found that when people over-rely on generative AI, the collective divergence of ideas drops by 40%. Concretely, that means that new ideas don't come to the surface. It means that true innovation is being stifled. So what is the solve here? Well, you need to identify the true artists, the true differentiators, the true innovators of your function. Now, if you've ever worked in marketing, you know who these people are. They are the ones that always disagree with you. Now, you take these people and you need to strategically reskill them to use AI well. For example, to be inspired by new ideas, to be inspired by new trends, to also crack fast prototypes, to multiply their impact once they've cracked a great idea. But you need to protect them and teach them from using the AI to generate and originate original ideas. For that, they have to use their human brain to keep those human juices flowing, and that in turn will protect the identity of your brand and your differentiation in the market. So I want to close with an advice for any marketer out there. What are you good at? Are you super creative? Are you the true innovator in the room? Well, if you are, cultivate that. That will be your superpower. Do you like data? Are you super rational? Are you super fact-based? Then you should specialize. You should grow tech skills. You should be investing in predictive AI competencies. But right now, every marketer out there needs to choose their brain. Thank you.
Dell Technologies Smart Infrastructure.
All right. So we're all really smart and we all are capable of doing everything she said and more. We have the transmission control protocol, internet protocol. Those are the twin protocol. The USDOD, Department of Defense. Okay, then you have local network, network access. That's like a first layer. Open systems interconnection. We have the FDDI, the fiber distributed data interference. We have token ring. That's also ring structure, like a token position. We have Ethernet. We all know about Ethernet as part of the internet. So here's how China is changing the future of shopping. A lot of us used to buy on Alibaba. Of course, Amazon's pretty popular in Wayfair. A new one is Temu. I know a lot of people have gotten really cool stuff on there. Hey,
And welcome back to this U.S.
Yeah.
Open office plan.
Miller just lobbed a message way over Jones's head using some technical.
This is my nephew, Yuan Yuan. He's 5 years old, super adorable. I asked him the other day, what would you like for your birthday this year? He said, I want to have a one-way mirror Spider-Man mask. I had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. So I said, well, it's really cool, but how are you going to get it? He told me, without a blink of his eyes, I'm going to tell my mom and make a wish before I go to bed. My mom will go to shake her mobile phone. The next morning, the delivery uncle will give it to me when I wake up. I was about to tease him, but suddenly I realized he was simply telling me the truth of what shopping looks like for this generation. If you think of it, for a child like Yuan Yuan, shopping is a very different idea compared to what my generation had in mind. Shopping is always done on mobile, and payment is all virtual.
The sailor's life for me. Or it was, until my money was put in an online company that isn't FDIC insured. Now if it goes under, so do I.
Know your risk. Protect your money. Find out what's insured at FDIC.gov.
Parenthood is a journey filled with countless decisions, especially when it comes to your child's education. As a parent, you want to provide the best educational opportunities for your child. But what if you could enhance their learning experience while maintaining the safety and nurturing environment of home? Introducing Power Homeschool, the official provider of online Acellus courses for parents independently homeschooling their children. With Power Homeschool, parents can choose from hundreds of courses with video-based lessons that provide cutting-edge technology to accelerate learning and motivate students. Whether your child needs a complete homeschool curriculum or just extra support in a particular subject, Acellus courses from Power Homeschool provide a self-paced learning solution that automatically adapts to help each student succeed. Our complete K-12 homeschool program includes courses in math, science, social studies, reading, and language arts. It also includes electives such as music, 3D printing, and programming. Power Homeschool empowers you to equip your child with necessary skills for their academic journey to become an independent learner and critical thinker. But don't just take our word for it. Here's what other parents have to say about their experience with Power Homeschool.
Power Homeschool has really transformed our child's experience.
I really love how flexible the program is. It allows my child to work at her own pace and on her own schedule.
Join the growing community of parents who have discovered the power of Power Homeschool. If you are new to homeschooling, our community of homeschooling parents is here to help. Visit our website at powerhomeschool.org to learn more and start your child's educational journey.
A huge shopping revolution is happening in China right now. Shopping behaviors and also technology platforms have evolved differently than elsewhere in the world. For instance, e-commerce in China is soaring. It's been growing at twice the speed of the United States, and a lot of the growth is coming from mobile. Every month, 500 million consumers are buying on mobile phones. And to put that into context, that is the total population of the United States, UK, Germany combined. But it is not just about the scale of the e-commerce. It is the speed of adoption and the aggregation of the ecosystems. It took China less than 5 years to become a country of mobile commerce, and that is largely because of the two technology platforms, Alibaba and Tencent. They own 90% of the e-commerce, pretty much the whole market, 85% of social media, 85% of internet payment. And they also own large volume of digital content, video, online movie, literature, travel information, gaming. When this huge base of mobile shoppers meets with aggregated ecosystems, chemical reactions happen. Today, China is like a huge laboratory generating all sorts of experiments. You should come to China because here you will get a glimpse into the future. One of the trends I have seen concerns the spontaneity of shopping. 5 years ago, in a fashion study, we found that on average, a Chinese consumer will be buying 5 to 8 pairs of shoes. This number tripled to reach about 25 pairs of shoes a year. Who would need so many pairs of shoes? So I asked them, what are the reasons you buy? They told me a list of inspirations, blogs, celebrity news, fashion informations. But really, for many of them, there was no particular reason to buy. They were just browsing on their mobile site and then buying whatever they saw. We have observed the same level of spontaneity in everything, from grocery shopping to buying insurance products. But it is not very difficult to understand if you think about it. A lot of the Chinese consumers are still very new in their middle class or upper middle class lifestyle with a strong desire to buy everything new products, new services. And with this integrated ecosystem, it is so easy for them to buy one click after another. However, this new shopping behavior is creating a lot of challenges for those once dominant businesses. The owner of a fashion company told me that he's so frustrated because his customers keep complaining that his products are not new enough. Well, for a fashion company, really bad comment. And he already increased the number of products in each collection. Doesn't seem to work. So I told him, there's something more important than that. You've got to give your consumer exactly what they want when they still want it. And he can learn something from the online apparel players in China. These companies, they collect real consumer feedback from mobile sites, from social media, and then their designers will translate this information into product ideas and then send them to micro studios for production. These micro studios are really key in this overall ecosystem because they take small orders, 30 garments at a time, and they can also make partially customized pieces. The fact that all these productions, design, are done locally, the whole process from transporting to product on shelf or online sometimes takes only 3 to 4 days. That is super fast. And that is highly responsive to what is in and hot on the market. And that is giving enormous headaches to traditional retailers who are only thinking about a few collections a year.
Have a burning question about college admissions?
I think this process works best when my students are present. Flexible, open to new ideas, willing to try new things, really willing to explore what works for them.
There are so many careers out there, so many things I don't know about, so many schools out there, so many different places I could go. How do I write a college application? How do I write about myself?
So a lot of the students I work with kind of know what they want their major to be, but they're not quite sure. But the biggest thing that students need help with is really getting to the bottom of who the person is and who the student is and what they can really tell the admissions committee.
Central piece is that presence, that flexibility, and that authenticity. Is when they have access to information, when they have access to both public and private information. Powerly really is about empowering students.
I like helping people. It's a company that's geared towards helping people.
This is kind of what fills me up and why I've chosen Empowerly.
Get matched with a qualified college admissions counselor. The college admissions process made easy and tailored just for you. Empowerly.
Then there's the consumer's needs for ultra convenience. A couple of months ago, I was shopping with a friend in Tokyo. We were in the store, and there were 3 to 4 people standing in front of us at the checkout counter. Pretty normal, right? But both of us dropped our selection and walked away. This is how impatient we have become. Delivering ultra convenience is not just something nice to have. It is crucial to make sure your consumer actually buy. And in China, we have learned that convenience is really the glue that will make online shopping a behavior and a habit that sticks. It is sometimes more effective than a loyalty program alone. Take Hema. It's a retail grocery concept developed by Alibaba. They deliver a full basket of products from 4,000 SKUs to your doorstep within 30 minutes. What is amazing is that they deliver literally everything. Fruits, vegetables, of course. They also deliver live fish and also live Alaska king crab. Like my friend once told me, it's really my dream coming true. Finally, I can impress my mother-in-law when she comes to visit me for dinner unexpectedly. Well, companies like Amazon and the Fresh Direct are also experimenting in the same field. The fact that Hema is part of the Alibaba ecosystem makes it faster and also a bit easier to implement. For an online grocery player, it is very difficult, very costly to deliver a full basket quickly. But for Hema, it's got a mobile app, it's got mobile payment, and also it's built 20 physical stores in high-density areas in Shanghai. These stores are built to ensure the freshness of the products. They actually have fish tanks in the store, and also to give locations that will enable high-speed delivery. I know the question you have on your mind, are they making money? Yes, they are making money. They're breaking even. And what is also amazing is that the sales revenue per store is 3 to 4 times higher than the traditional grocery store, and half of their revenue orders are coming from mobile. This is really a proof that by consumer, if you give them ultra convenience they really want in grocery shopping, they're going to switch their shopping behaviors online, like in no time. So ultra convenience and spontaneity, that's not the full story. The other trend I have seen in China is social shopping. If you think of social shopping elsewhere in the world, it is a linear process. You pick up something on Facebook, watched it, and you switch to Amazon or brand.com to complete the shopping journey. Clean and simple. But in China, it is a very different thing. On average, a consumer would spend 1 hour on their mobile phone shopping. That's 3 times higher than the United States. Where does that stickiness come from? What are they actually doing on this tiny little screen? So let me take you on a mobile shopping journey that I usually would be experiencing. 11 p.m. Yes, that's usually when I shop. I was having a chat in WeChat chat room with my friends. One of them took out a pack of snack and posted the product link in that chat room, paid it, because usually I would just click that link and then land on the product page. Lots of information, very colorful, mind-blowing. Watched it, and then a shop assistant came online and asked me, how can I help you tonight? Of course, I bought that pack of snack. What is more beautiful is I know that the next day, around noontime, that pack of snack will be delivered to my office. I can eat it and share it with my colleagues. And the cost of delivery, maximum $1.
You're trying to do something that no one has ever done before. You're trying to discover something that has never been observed. And so it's going to be challenging. And in order to do that, you have to really love the team that you're on.
Just when I was about to leave that shopping site, another screen popped up. This time, it is the live streaming of a grassroots celebrity teaching me how to wear a new color of a lipstick. I watched for 30 seconds, very easy to understand. And also there's a shopping link right next to it. Clicked it, bought it in a few seconds. Back to the chat room. The gossiping is still going on. Another friend of mine posted the QR code of another pack of snack. Clicked it, bought it. So the whole experience is like you are exploring in an amusement park. It is chaotic, it is fun, and it's even a little bit addictive. This is what's happening when you have this integrated ecosystem. Shopping is embedded in social, and the social is evolving into a multidimensional experiences. The integration of ecosystem reaches a whole new level, so does its dominance in all aspects of our life. And of course, there are huge commercial opportunities behind it. A Chinese snack company, Three Squirrel, built a $500 million business in just 3 years by investing in 300 to 500 shop assistants who's going to be online to provide services 24/7. In this social media environment, they're like your neighborhood friends. Even when you're not buying stuff, they'll be happy to just tell you a few jokes and make you happy. In this integrated ecosystem, social media can really redefine the relationship between brand, retailer, and consumer. These are only fragments of the massive changes I have seen in China. In this huge laboratory, a lot of experiments are generated every single day. The ecosystems are reforming supply chain, distribution, marketing, product innovation, everything. Consumers are giving back the power to decide what they want to buy, when they want to buy it, how they want to buy it, how they want to social. It is now back to business leaders of the world to really open their eyes, see what's happening in China, think about it, and take actions. Thank you.
Angela, what you share with us is truly impressive and almost incredible. But I think many in the audience had the same question that I had, which is this kind of impulsive consumption both economically and environmentally sustainable over the longer term? And what is the total price to be paid for such an atomized and ultra-convenient retail experience?
Yeah. One thing we have to keep in mind is really we are at the very beginning of a huge transformation. So with this trading up needs of the consumer, together with the evolution of the ecosystem, there are a lot of opportunities and also challenges. So I've seen some early signs that the ecosystems are shifting their focus to pay attention to solve these challenges. For example, paying more considerations to sustainability alongside just about speed and also quality over quantity. But there are really no simple answers to these questions. That is exactly why I'm here to tell everyone that we need to watch it, study it, and play a part in this evolution.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good video. Okay, so as we were saying, the internet plays a big part of it. From here, those of you that are like IT or networking background, computers background, this is all really familiar to you. If not, it's okay, but it's just good to be familiar with the terminology, you know, because you're in business and you just don't know who is going to be doing what in business and what you're actually be selling. Are you going to be selling a service or a product? We have host to host, transmission control protocol. It's connection oriented protocol. And then you have the hypertext transfer protocol, file transfer protocol, simple mail transfer protocol. You have the WW World Wide Web. A lot of us use mobile communication. We have apps on our phone. We also use our phone to buy things. I know a lot of you have like Amazon app or Temu app or Wayfair. We do eBay, Mercy, Pinterest. I bought things off Pinterest before. eBay, Etsy. I bought things off Etsy and eBay. Amazon. I have Temu, but I've never bought anything from there. I've looked at stuff from Wayfair. I still get their emails, but I've never bought anything from there either. My sister has. She said there's pretty good deals. Temu has pretty good deals too. I know someone that said she bought like 5 dresses for like 20 bucks. Like summer dresses. And we have the XML, extended markup language. And then the XML database, it's a data persistent, a data structure that's always preserved the previous version of itself when it's modified. And you have the middleware that consists of technologies building the link between the hardware and the application software, the boundaries between the middleware and the hardware, as well as between the middleware and application software, or changing over time due to the technological development. Middleware normally is a category of general and not application specific software. In general, there is a trend to replace hardware functionally in the middleware, thus allowing the usage of highly standardized hardware components that can be provided at a low cost. You have Cobra, that's the Common Object Request Broker architecture. It's designed to fabricate the communication of a software. Database systems, it's a business environment we often use in a relational database system, primarily suited to store and process structured data. Directory services, we have different ones. You could use the management system with the authorization. You also have the lightweight directory access protocol, the LDAP. So sometimes you might see these abbreviations, or the X500, that's computer networking standards covering electronic directory services. You have a web server, the virtual computer, piece of software. It helps to deliver web connect and it can be accessed through the internet. You have the WSDL, Web Services Description Language. You have the SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, the SOAP. You also have platforms and frameworks. You have Portal. It's a central entry and navigation point to provide access to a virtual area of an application or service and deliver additional information to the user. You have Portal, a horizontal portal used as a platform to several companies. You have a vertical portal known as a portal. It's a specialized entry point to specific market or industry niche. Enterprise portal provides a secure united access point, often in the form of a web-based user interface. Content management systems, a CMS, is an application software that allows publishing, editing, and modifying content, organizing, deleting, as well as maintenance from a central interface. We have a web application server. We have a Java. A lot of people talk about JavaScript, Java EE, Java Platform, Enterprise Edition. You have the net or .NET. You have typical applications with the e-commerce. Supplier orientated. Procurement platform, supply chain management, supplier relationship management. You have the back office, maybe enterprise resource planning, customer orientated, online shop, customer relationship management. There's some questions you're going to see probably in your final exam. Okay. Time for a PowerPoint, so hold on a moment. Trying to get these pop-ups off my screen. Well, don't worry about them then. Don't worry about them. Okay. Okay, so we're going to learn about finding and evaluating web hosting services, basic functions of electronic commerce software, advanced functions of electronic software. So hosting alternatives. A web host is in a business of providing server space, web services, and file maintenance for web sites controlled by individuals and companies that do not have their own web server. We have self-hosting, running servers in-house, most often used in large companies. We have commerce service providers, provide internet access and web hosting services, help companies conduct electronic commerce, offer web server management, and rent application software. Basic functions of electronic commerce software. Software and hardware products for building sites, externally hosted stores with software tools, sophisticated electronic commerce software suits, electronic commerce software needs determined by expected enterprise size, projected traffic and sales, budget. Consider online store creation cost versus the brick and mortar cost. And consider external and in-house host cost. Basic functions of electronic commerce software: catalog display, shopping cart capabilities, transaction processing. Larger complex sites may include software adding tools and capabilities to basic commerce tool set. I'm sorry about these pop-ups. Pop-ups off. Catalog display. Catalog organizes goods and services being sold, organizes offerings into departments. Web Store Advantage, single product may appear in multiple categories, listing of goods and services. Electronic commerce, early days, use form-based shopping. Shoppers selected items by filling out online forms. Awkward if ordering more than one or two items. Problems, need to write down product codes, unit prices, other information before ordering. Customers forgot whether to submit a button, clicked, confusing and error prone. Shopping cart. We have the electronic shopping carts, now standard method for processing sales. Keep track of items customer selected. May view cart contents, add items, remove items. Ordering requires a simple click. We have the item details, stores automatically in chart. And bottom click executes the purchase transaction. Like maybe a shopping cart software like BizNet, internet services, sales card, Web Genie software. A web enable to remember anything from one transmitter session to another, to retrieve shopping cart information, later use the cookies. Here's the example right here of the shopping cart. Kind of an old school one. There's different kind of portals. Transaction processing occurs when a shopper proceeds to virtual checkout counter, click checkout button. Electronic commerce software performs necessary calculations. Web browser software and seller web server software switch to secure communication state. Most companies use accounting software packages and record sales and inventory movements. Requires integration with accounting software. Oops, I went too far. Electronic software features. Most large companies have electronic commerce operations. Substantial business activity, important to integrate electronic commerce activities into companies' other operations. We have basic elements, a collection of databases. Databases, that's a collection of different services that you might render. What web services can do? They offer customer service, reduce costs, transmit the XML tag data from one enterprise integrated application to another, provide data these between two different companies. How web services work. Key element programmers use the software assessing business application logic units without knowing details. Machine to machine communication allows programs written in different languages on different platforms to communicate and accomplish transaction processing and perform other business tasks. Originally accomplished in the HTML, implicated with the XML today. First web services, information sources, incorporate information sources applications. My computer keeps sticking. Okay, how web services work. More advanced example could be web services purchasing software used to obtain a vendor price. Information purchasing agent authorities purchase using software to submit order, track until shipment received, and vendors web services software checks buyers credit contracts with freight company. Small style commerce provides small business with internet connection, website creation tools, little to no banner advertising, clutter charges, low monthly fee, one-time setup fees, and percentage of or fixed amount for each transaction. Also, commerce service providers, online store, design tools and storefront templates, easy to use interface, the web page generation capabilities, the page maintenance, shopping cart software capabilities, payment processing services. Approximate cost to put up a small store online. Customer relationship management software. Goal, understanding each other's specific needs. Customize product or service to meet those needs. Idea, if a customer needs meet exactly, customer will pay more for goods and services. Customer relationship management. CRM software obtains data from operating software, gathers data from customer activities, and uses data to conduct analytical activities. Customer relationship management software. Basic form of CRM uses customer information to sell more goods or services. Advanced form of CRM delivers extremely attractive, positive customer experiences. CRM business importance, maintaining customer loyalty, maintaining positive, consistent contracts at purchasing company. CRM software sources. Companies create their own. Supply chain management software helps companies coordinate planning and operations with industry partners. Two general function types, planning and execution. SCRM planning software uses information from each supply chain participant. SCM execution software helps with the warehouse and transportation management. Content management software controls large amounts of text. Graphics, media files, importance heightened due to increased use of smartphones, netbook computers, iPad computing services. E-commerce software may come with wizards and other automated helpers for creating a template-driven pages. Businesses often customize web pages with company and product pictures and text. Knowledge management software, you can use systems managing knowledge itself rather than documentary representations of that knowledge. Collect and organize, share information among users, enhance ability of users to collaborate, preserve knowledge gained through information use. Okay, and that was about e-commerce. Hold on. Hey, here's our second PowerPoint. Can't see it. Okay, hold on. I reshare it. Okay, as I was talking earlier about the e-commerce, there's some basic ones, the business to consumer, B2C, e-commerce, business to business, B2B, e-commerce, and consumer to consumer e-commerce. We can multi-stage model of e-commerce, search and identification, selection, negotiation, purchasing products and service electronically, product and service delivery after sales. A multi-stage model of e-commerce, we have buyer, search and identification, selection, negotiation, purchasing, product, service delivery, and after-sale service. Product and service delivery, you have the internet, you have Hewlett Packard, you have the order like FedEx distribution, then you go to the FedEx product delivery, and then they take it to the consumer and they order it. And the process continues. Shipment, notification, order, the shipment notification goes to Hewlett Packard, then they send it over to the FedEx distribution facility, and then they ship it. It's all done through the internet. E-commerce model, we have content, the industry news, economic news, stock prices. You have commerce, customers and businesses buying and selling, community, message boards, chat rooms. We have changing distribution systems and work process. You have split case distribution, integrating web-based order processing with traditional systems. We have e-commerce supply chain management, demand planning, supply planning, demand fulfillment, increased revenues and decreased costs. We have improved customer satisfaction, inventory reduction across supply chain. We have e-commerce supply chain. We have the internet supports web-based order processing. You have corporate internet, provides access to corporate data. Supply chain management, demand planning, analyzing buying patterns, developing customer demand forecasts. You have supply planning, strategic planning, inventory planning, distribution planning, procurement planning, transportation planning, supply allocation. Then you go down there to the demand fulfillment. You have the order fulfillment, the backlog management, order promising, customer verification, and order capture. Business to business allows manufacturers to buy at a low price worldwide. Enterprise can sell to global market. Global e-commerce steps to global localization, recognizing and confronting the nuisances, subsidies, and tastes of local cultures. Supporting basic trade laws such as each country's currency, payment preferences, taxes, and tariffs, ensuring that technological capabilities match the local connection speeds. Global e-commerce to determine which global markets make the most sense for selling products or services in the line. Decide whether web content should be generated or updated centrally or locally. You have e-commerce applications, electronic retailing, cyber malls, wholesale e-commerce, B2B. Manufacturing, shoppers request information, purchase orders, payment information. Information about raw material needs, purchase orders, shipment notices, or payment requests. Customer orders, supply shipment notices. Payment request, payment approval, electronic transfer funds, manufacturer's bank. Then you have the electronic exchange, payment request, payment approval, or electronic funds. Or maybe they go to supplier's bank, payment approval, electronic funds, or payment request. Or maybe we go to the suppliers, manufacturer order information about raw materials, shipments, notices, manufacturers, payment requests. Everything's driven by the internet. Market segmentation, technology-enabled relationship management. Investment finance, inline, stock trading, online banking, and electronic bill resentment. Investment finance, we have MSN Central, and you see they have a URL. That's where it can be found. Quicken.com, Multifool, Yahoo, and Morningstar. There's some examples. Here's some names of some sites. Maybe you want to do some stocks, so you go to 411 Stocks, or Market Reporter, and that's for the financial news. You have Thompson Investors Network. That's a financial commentary. It gives you some insight on the stocks to watch. Elite Trader, a virtual gathering place for day traders. Chats. You have Day Investors, News, stock alerts with frequent briefs on market activity. The DRIP advisor, the DRIP advisor, covers the basics of dividend reinvestment programs. Raging Bull contains lots of message boards. Guest experts produce news, commentary, and analysis. Edgar Online provides access to company filings with Securities Exchange. Better Filings Online. Jones Directory Documents. Technology Infrastructure. And we have network, internet, value-added network, virtual private network, high-speed connection network, e-commerce software, and server operating system. Hardware, storage capacity, software, volume of e-commerce, transactions, website, hosting, security, identification, denial of service attack, website tracking, web log, file, website development tools, retrieving and sending web pages, a web page, construction software, statistic page, dynamic web page. E-commerce software, catalog management, product configuration, and shopping cart. We have automates transaction processes from order replacement to reconciliation. We have web traffic analysis. Here's a shopping cart. Network and package switching. All e-commerce depends on the type of data. Internet, intranet, value-added network VAN, virtual private network VPN. All EC approaches rely on a packet switching and use routers. Cost, availability, reliability, security, and redundancy must be considered when choosing network. Electronic payment systems, digital certificates, certificate authority, secure sockets layer, SSL, electronic cash, electronic wallet, smart credit, charge debit cards, and threats to e-commerce. Commerce incidents, a threat to intellectual property, patents on business processes, fraud, and privacy issues. Online auction fraud, spam, pyramid schemes, investment fraud, and stock scams. Then you have online profiling, clickstream data, and safe harbor principles. Trustee seal. You have BBB online privacy seal. Always make sure you have some kind of protection on your VPN or your HTTP, your website. Tip, never give out personal information, especially social security number. Assume any information you give out about yourself will appear on the database somewhere, even something as a Curtis, a warranty card, and may ask for income, and phone numbers don't provide such data. Before registering with a website, check out this privacy policy. Look for BB or trustee seal. The site doesn't explain how it plans for your information. Beware. Be discreet on sending email, posting messages to the Usernet news group, or talking in chat rooms. Anything you send to these forums can be viewed and used as a marker to update your personal profile. Update your browser software. The newest versions of Netscape, Navigator, and Microsoft Internet Explorer, by far are the two most popular web browsers, have the best encryption technology available. Generally speaking, if these companies release an update, somebody has found a hole in their security. Consider the purchase of a digital ID to use in place of your real name. This permits users to retrieve the web pages anonymously. Strategies for successful e-commerce. Developing effective web presence. We have visitors to a website should be able to obtain general information about the organization, obtain financial information for making investment decision, learn the organization's position on social issues, learn about the products and services the organization sells, website hosting services, and storefront brokers. Build traffic to your website. Domain names are really important, meta tags, and traffic data analysis. Maintaining and improving your website. Be alert to new trends. Be prepared to take advantage of new opportunities, personification, explicit and implicit. E-commerce enables consumers and companies to gain access to worldwide markets. Electronic retailing, entailing the direct scale business to consumer through electronic storefronts designed around electronic catalog and shopping cart model. E-commerce shoppers must be on constant guard to protect their rights, security, and personal privacy. Principles and learning objectives. E-commerce is a new way of conducting business. As with any new application of technology, it presents both opportunities for improvement and potential problems. We can identify several advantages of e-commerce, outline a multi-stage model that describes how e-commerce works, identify some of the major challenges companies must overcome to succeed at e-commerce, and identify several e-commerce applications. E-commerce requires the careful planning and integration of a number of technology infrastructure components. Outline the key components of technology infrastructure that must be in place for e-commerce to succeed. Discuss the key features of electronic payment system needed to support e-commerce. Principles and learning objectives. Users of the new commerce technology must take safeguards to protect themselves. Identify major issues that represent significant threats to continued growth of e-commerce. Organizations must define and execute a strategy to be successful in e-commerce. Outline key components of a successful e-commerce strategy. And that's the end. All right, so let me go ahead and take you to your assignments for the week. All right, when you go to the Google Classroom, oops. Okay, good, you can see it, okay. When you go to the Google Classroom, you can see last week it was for you to write 2 to 3 paragraphs in your thoughts about e-commerce in the 21st century. Then you're supposed to write a paragraph about yourself. Let's see, one person did that. 6 people turned in the 2 to 3 paragraphs, so good job. And the summary right here, it says 5 people turned in their summary. And then this is this week's summary. I have to post a video, of course. And then right here, you want to look at the article online about e-commerce and write 3 paragraphs. So it says look for an article. So you look for the article. I'm not going to provide the article. You look for your own article. You can just type in e-commerce. You can find stuff on Yahoo News. If you type it into Google, you should be able to find something. Sometimes you have articles you can find in like the Business Weekly or Business Newswork, or you can do Forbes, Harvard Review. There's a lot of them. And then write around 3 paragraphs. It should be about 9 to 35 sentences. Some of you in here write a lot, so it'll be 35. If you don't write a lot, that could be 9. And don't forget to use Emily or APA. All right, we're done for today. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next week for week 3. Bye.